Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very special spirits review. We are here at the Chicken Coop, folks. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E. You can find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. And I must say, Chicken, thank you for hosting us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks for coming down, guys.
Absolutely.
No problem. And I'm also joined here by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. Folks, it's gonna be a tasty review.
Oh, yes. So,
What are we drinking?
should we drink Dalmore or Dalmore or Dalmore or Dalmore? Yeah. So it's Dalmore Inception here, folks. And yes, that's pretty cool. I'm sorry, that's pretty awesome. But
I knew he was going to do it right away.
well,
Just
come
get
on.
it out of the way.
I mean, come on. You kind of have to. It's like, yes, you're getting 3 fills for the price of one. That's probably the best deal in the history of ever. But folks, what we are here to review today is the very special Dalmore Sherry Cask Edition 12-year, one we have been searching for what, 2 years now?
Probably.
This was it was announced to release right before, the global
before
bastard hit.
Things went
the big
badly.
C.
Yes.
And there, now we've got like Dalmore and all these different screens. It's beautiful.
Just obsessed.
I know, it's awesome. But this is, well, hey, I've only been searching for this bottle for a minute. Let me have my fun. So, Sherry Cask Select, aged 12 years. Now, T, while I get ready for the pour, would you share with the people at home what's on the back of this box?
I shall.
Chicken, may I?
Go ahead, sir.
A royal heritage bestowed in 1263 by the King of Scotland, the Royal 12-Point Stag proudly adorns each bottle of the Dalmore, encapsulating the distillery's regal legacy. The art of the Dalmore. For over 150 years, the Dalmore has set the standard in multi-cask maturation. Carefully composed spirits and hand-selected casks from the world's finest bodegas and wineries are expertly curated to create a sumptuous and layered whiskey of legendary finesse. Sherry Cask Select. This elegant 12-year-old single malt is finished in 3 different styles of aged Oloroso sherry casks, balancing nutty flavors with sweet PX influence. This is going to be pretty spectacular, I have a feeling. Yeah, pretty.
I was wondering when
exciting.
I thought you said sweet Pete influence, but
No.
Pedro Jimenez, which I've actually got a bottle of their sherry at home. I just opened the other night. Beautiful stuff. All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, A+.
Excellent.
That gets an A+ in just cork poppery.
Well, it's the Dalmore. It's always had a good cork pop. It is going to be very special. Yeah, 2 years in the making. What a time to be alive, folks.
Can't wait to get my nose on this. Let's get in there.
One plate.
There's so many arms moving around here.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh. We got us a problem here, gentlemen.
That is lovely.
This is chocolatey, lovely goodness.
This
Wow.
this smells like a Speyside.
You shit.
You don't have to like it.
Like,
You don't have to like it for it to be true. Like this is
It's
sweet.
a little too thick in
It's
its
thick,
nose
but it's
profile. Like
sweet.
it's got like the smell isn't toffee, but it's got that thick toffiness to like. There's something so thick.
Like I can smell a Dalmore
There's
influence here, but there's so much sherry going on that it
The
reminds
sherry's
me.
heavy.
It reminds me of like a Glenfiddich 15 on the nose.
This reminds me more of like take the Dalmore Dominium with just a hint of Dalmore Port, and that's kind of what the nose is for me. But this is also 12, so you can definitely
Yeah.
get a bit of that oak in there.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Shall we?
Oh, Great
Yes.
Lakes too. Holy crap. Cheers. Wow. That is smooth.
have you guys ever had like 70% coca, like bitter chocolate?
Yep.
Yep.
It's that with just the tiniest hint of like grape on it. So it's like,
I was gonna go prune.
yeah, so we're pretty close. But
Yeah.
it's like you've had a bitter chocolate and you're having wine.
Yeah,
Like this is
no,
kind of where
That's
I'm.
perfect.
Bitter chocolate spot on. I don't know if it's prune or grape, but I get the almost fruit complexity to there. I know what you're saying. I don't know if it's either of those.
That's lovely.
Gorgeous.
This is again. This is what do we say?
Highland single malt.
43%. So,
Oh, okay, really?
yeah, little over the standard 40.
Normally, Dalmore,
Yeah.
if you're getting even 0.1 over 40%, you've got something pretty
No, this
special.
is I think it helps here, especially too, because that is beautiful. I have a feeling that this one,
Beautiful legs, like you said.
yeah,
Wow.
I have a feeling like this, even for a Dalmore, this is probably one that's going to open up vastly if you let it sit out for.
I'm
long
getting,
period of time.
it's kind of like the chocolate is, but I'm getting the slightest bit of cocoa powder, like on the back of my tongue.
Yeah, like a baking, sure.
Yeah, it's almost like a dry.
Yeah, like that Hershey's powder
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that, but like you just threw some in your mouth.
Well, let's take a look here. According to the box, the aroma: caramelized orange, ginger, and sultanas. Okay, not sure what that is. Laced with honey. See, that's why
I get the honey.
laced with honey.
That makes
That's
sense
why
now.
I was thinking Speyside.
That would make sense.
I told you. On the palate, dark chocolate
Yep.
and crushed almonds, which we love almonds around here,
Phil especially.
with a dusting of cinnamon. That makes perfect sense. Finishing notes: sweet mangoes, panna cotta, and lemon sponge cake.
I don't get the flavor of cinnamon, but like the feeling of
Yeah,
cinnamon.
the feeling.
Like, yeah.
It's gonna be impossible not to taste that lemon now.
And I must say, like,
I say lemon or
we're
Lemon
really,
sponge cake on the finish.
we here in the States, we're really happy to taste or to smell the sultana and to taste the panna cotta. Like, yeah, those are clearly our favorites.
Now that we
Weekly
read
delicacy.
the lemon, yeah.
It's like, yes,
It's
clearly.
Which I love, like a,
Let me see if I
a
can
lemon pound cake. I love it. One of my favorite desserts. So yeah,
It's totally there.
that's why the finish really appealed to me. So I can, yeah, I'm loving that.
Now that you, that's the power of suggestion, folks. Because
That's why we generally don't read the
we were,
palate.
Try not
we
to,
were
yeah.
like, okay, there's a fruit here, but we can't quite put our
Right.
finger on it. He's saying plum. I was saying winish. You were saying something you couldn't put your finger on. And then once you say lemon, we're all like,
There it is.
Yeah,
there's kind of that
like
bit
a
there.
lemon pound cake from Starbucks.
I'm getting it a little different, but it's like kind of like the lemon that they put on your drink at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh,
Almost like lemon peel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
there you go. Okay, if you've ever gone to a really nice bar where they do the really fancy cocktails and they peel off the lemon and then they
Yeah, just to get that little
just to
drip
get
out of there.
the essence out.
Yep.
Like, yep, there you go. So they've expressed the oils. So yeah, this
Now I'm
I'd put it as
reminded-
lemon oil,
I'm
yeah.
reminded now why we generally don't like start our nights of drinking with a really nice scotch.
Because everything else is going to be disappointing.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
gonna be
it
hard
is.
to go to anything
Yep.
else from here on out because this is incredible.
I know I'm exposing the business,
Well-
but we got a night of rye whiskey we got planned, and
Luckily, we've also got a few
You got some-
special bottles of Irish whiskey, so we're gonna go
Ooh.
around the world tonight.
Yeah.
but tonight
It's going to
is
be fun.
tonight's
Oh, gosh.
Dalmore's night, though, folks. So
This is marvelous.
be sure to let us know in the comments if you've ever had this particular flavor before. But other than that, now, guys,
So the tough part.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard.
the difficult part,
This is
the grading. Now, for those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you well. We're going to grade this on a 5-star scale as a scotch. First as a single malt scotch, then scotch, then a whiskey, then it's shelving, and then for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, as a single malt scotch, putting it up against any scotch of the single malt persuasion, 12-year sherry cask edition, single malt Highland. It's really nothing to hate about this.
no.
So
I can't pick apart anything here. Where do you want to start? Who
Well-
wants to start
chicken,
and not be too generous?
this is the chicken coop. So I will give you the first.
We, I mean, we're kind of homers for the Dalmore.
Yeah.
We're
That's
fanboys.
fair.
Yeah. This one, no exception to this. This is fantastic. I think it's got its differences with some of the other ones. It's like, how does it stack up against some? I think there's a time where I'm gonna want this more than I'm gonna want a 12 or a 15. Like I think there's a specific place and time. This, I just want to steak with this, which
that
coming
makes
soon.
sense. That makes sense.
So for me, it all depends on each of them. But 4.25.
4.25 is a single malt Scotch. Tony.
I'm gonna agree 4.25 because this is lovely. It does have a little bit of a gimmick to it. Not that that's a bad thing in this regard. Actually, I think it helps it in this case because giving it that Sherry Cask Select name tag, you know what you're getting, and it is absolutely fantastic. It's got an age statement, so it's not like the gimmick doesn't fit with the Scotch. Sometimes they get a little creative. It doesn't work if you're going into a rum cask or something fancy and the whiskey's not of a good quality, then it doesn't really work so well as a single malt. But as a single malt with the Sherry Cask Select gimmick to it, it doesn't hurt it at all. I think it helps it tremendously. And with the Dalmore, it's got the standard Dalmore flavoring, aroma profile, finish. So yeah, 4.25. I'm all about this.
I'm going to disagree with you guys.
Really, I'm shocked. By about 0.75.
What do you know? It's going to be 4.75 because this is okay. My personal favorite Dalmore is the Dominion.
Yes,
but I also recognize that's just because it's so full fruit flavored.
It is,
and if I'm being honest, this is probably a higher quality of whiskey because more age statement was put into it, more effort, time. But I understand that the Dominion's just to my personal taste.
Sure.
But this one, as a single malt, I'm going to give 4.75 because if you are a fan or a lover of single malt in any kind of persuasion, you will be well served with this bottle. And this one, I'm just going to go ahead and say, the joke is if you're going to gift a bottle of whiskey to your boss, make it a single malt Scotch with a double-digit age statement. There you go.
Perfect.
This is perfect.
And
they'll actually be like, wow, this guy actually knows shit from apple butter when it comes to Scotch. I like this. This kid's going places. So I'm going to have to give that 4.75. Now we get into the harder grades. Scotch, putting it up against all Scotch. That includes blended Scotch whiskeys, Scotch grain whiskeys, anything within the wide, wide world of Scotch. That's including your Johnny Walkers, your Chivas Regals, what have you. T, I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm going to go... Actually, fuck it. 4.75.
Nice.
As a Scotch. Just as a single malt, I like to... Again, with the gimmick, I think it didn't hurt it there, but it helped it there. But as a Scotch in general, taking any gimmicks out of the fact, blending processes, doesn't matter. Just as a Scotch, 4.75 is definitely fair because this is super damn drinkable. It's higher ABV than standard Dalmore usually is. So...
that helps it.
Which helps in my grading, of course, but it's got a double-digit age statement. You can tell that there's care put into this. There's definitely some thought process here. I can't say enough good about this without saying the same things I've already said. It smells good. It tastes good. It presents so nicely. It finishes so well. Dalmore is just an exquisite Scotch, and this is another home run by the Dalmore Distillery.
Yes, I am refilling.
I was about to say, I mean, you gentlemen, we haven't even hardly gotten through this review, and you're already empty glasses, which that's something to... I was just keeping a little bit for that end, thanks for being here, folks, but...
we got a long way to go yet.
I'm going to just slightly disagree with Tony. I'm going to go 4.5. I think that the one that put me... up onto the 4.5 is exactly what you said, the higher ABV. I mean, it's a fantastic Scotch, and this should be enjoyed.
Yes,
way more than most Scotches, nearly all Scotches, except for some other Dalmores. And maybe Jura Superstition. I like my
Okay.
little peated ones
We
here
gotta-
and there. So
Yep.
It's still
Now-
coming from the same place.
Since we're talking about different distilleries and bringing it up, let's be frank, Chicken. In the single malt grading, if this bottle happened to say the Glenfiddich Sherry Cask 12-year Speyside single malt, Tony would have given it a 4.75 to 5 star.
or a 5. Yeah, he would have gave it a 5.
Yeah, so, but anyhow, moving right along. As a Scotch, you gave it.
He gave 4.75. I gave 4.5.
Goodness gracious. This was going to be one of my least generous. Like, I was going to give this 4.25.
Really?
As a Scotch, because it's excellent for drinking, but like, this isn't one that I'd do a Scotch on the rocks, and I definitely wouldn't
Hell no.
introduce somebody to Scotch with this. Be like, hey, here is a great example of Scotch, because this is such an interesting and unique product that most Scotch is not going to be like this.
Well, in terms of putting it over ice or doing a Scotch cocktail, that's when I was going to get into the whiskey grading. I wouldn't touch this. I wouldn't do anything but let this breathe a little bit to try to get a different flavor, which I think it would do. Yeah, you leave this out for 5 to 10 minutes. I think this is going to change a lot, which does help it in terms of whiskey for me, because not all whiskey can do that.
Well, let's
This
get
one
right into
definitely
it.
can. But as a whiskey, again, if you can't put it on ice, which I'm sure you could, if you can't cocktail it, I'm sure you could, but you shouldn't do either of those things.
Right.
It does hurt it in my grading, so I'm only going to go 4 stars as a whiskey. This should be enjoyed as is. And if you don't like specific cask finishing, which some people don't, this is probably not going to be your cup of tea. So I'm going to go 4.
I don't think I'd back it up that much. Probably 4.25 for me. I think you said all the right things. However, like, I mean,
I was overly generous on the
I
last one, so I'm
love-
going to be a little harsher in this case.
like I love 12-year
Yeah.
on an ice ball. That's just my personal preference. I think this would be fantastic on an ice
it probably
ball.
would.
And that's how I enjoy most of my whiskeys, is just with an ice ball. So I go 4.25. I still think it's a damn fine whiskey, but I wouldn't cocktail it.
My grading is going to be a little different from both yours.
Really?
No, it's not what you think.
It's probably not far off.
Not too terribly. Because, okay, take this glass here, put another glass next to it, pour just about any whiskey on God's green earth, whether it's from Japan, America, Canada, Scotland, Ireland, anywhere. Put them up. Wonderful. Not quite as good. Amazing.
Well,
Pretty good, but not quite as good. So that's why my grade as a whiskey is going to be 4.5.
I can see what you mean, but this is such a stark contrast to a high proof bourbon. So like,
But
if you sit down somebody who likes
how many more
bourbon
people do you
next
think
to
are going to
this-
enjoy this over a very high
Well,
proof
that's what I
bourbon?
mean, though.
High proof bourbon's a very
If you put a
niche.
bourbon snob down next to this and you put even a low end bourbon, they're still going to pick the bourbon.
Maybe.
If they know shit from apple butter about Scotch, they won't. But
Depends
that's
on their preference, though. Again, that's why I was a little harsher with the whiskey grading.
you know, I mean, there are people that don't prefer Dalmore single malt Scotch, and I refer to them as just the unfortunates in this world. Like, there's, if you don't,
Saddened
like,
by
I
them,
know,
but,
I know.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, we should start a
We need to
GoFundMe or
save
something.
them. Yeah.
Yes, but now we move on from the gradings to now probably the easiest question: shelving.
Top.
Yeah, this is a top shelf. This is a brag bottle, to be
Yeah.
frank. Like, this one has flavors that even are comparable to Dalmore 18.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
Like some of those deep chocolates. Like,
Yes.
So,
And,
Yeah,
and,
that-
and it's just how smooth it is. Yeah,
yeah, because it's going down a little too easy.
exactly.
And this is our first drink of the day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, at least mine, anyways. But, so we now move on to those new to the show, the secret fifth question. So, as you can see right here, it states USD $72.99.
Which is a bargain considering we've been looking for 2 years. Usually, if it takes 2 years to get to the States and become readily available, in that 2 year or even 1 year time frame, the price goes
You're
sky high.
you're at least dropping a Benjamin on it. Usually.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's what I expected this to start out at, would be 100. Then you start seeing it 150, and then as it became harder and harder to find, probably closer to 2. But luckily, this one is very, very reasonable at $72.99.
I was about to say the regular 12 years like 50, 60 bucks.
Yeah,
it's about
generally going to
60
get about
bucks.
60.
Yeah, so I mean,
If you can find a regular 12 at 50.
so this is
Get it.
not a bad upgrade at all.
No.
So when this bottle runs empty, Chicken, will you seek another one?
If I can find another one, I sure will. I might,
Yeah.
like, if I see another one, I'll probably just grab another because I have a feeling this is going to be a long podcast night drink in the near future.
Yeah, I think this is one you kind of got to grab on the spot if you see it, because we don't know how this readily available this is going to be. Now that it's made it here, maybe
So
we'll
when
see it.
I found this one, I happened to see it on a liquor store's Facebook page. They posted a picture of it, and they only showed 2 bottles on the Facebook picture, and I was like, oh no. Like, if that's all they got, because I was weird, and sometimes you only get 1 or 2 bottles of allocated stuff.
Yeah.
So I called him up, which I didn't tell Phil right away. When I called him up, I was like, hey, can you save me a bottle? Or like, what's the deal? Do you want me to pay over the phone? Like, what do you want me to do so I can get me a bottle of that? And he goes, yeah. I go, what's the chances of getting both of them that you have on the picture? He goes, well, I got a full case. I go, well, then can you save me 3? And he's like, yeah, sure. I was like, cool, I'll be in tomorrow. And I was like, oh, they only let me have 1. We'll see how many else is there. I wanted Phil to just be like, oh
Sweat
no,
it
I
out.
don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get a bottle. I know I'll get to try it. Yeah, and then of course when I got there, the guy's like, you're the guy that wanted all 3 bottles of the Dalmore? I'm like, yep. He goes, well, good thing, because he sold all the other ones overnight. So
Wow.
glad I called when I did, because they got wiped out.
Wow. I'm not surprised, but I'm
Yeah.
surprised, but I'm not.
Yes, excellent. Well, so as you can see, folks, this is a hot commodity. So yes, I will be seeking this when my bottle runs out. I'm assuming, Tony.
Yeah, this is one I definitely keep on hand, just because I love sherry casking and love the Dalmore. The two together obviously makes perfect sense. And guess what? The liquid is fantastic.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Makes me all the more excited to pair this up against the Macallan sherry cask and some of the others.
Of course.
Ooh, some more things that
Yes.
you're going to have to wait to see here on this space, right here at the K.O.E. Nation, folks. But, gentlemen, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this very special edition. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. I'm a little flustered here. I got to finally try the Dalmore Sherry Cask Selects 12 years. Oh, dear Lord God, Heavenly King. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man makes the other podcast cower, the prince and potentate of the political parlance, and one damn handsome man, if I do say so myself. Folks, be sure to like, share, subscribe. I hope to find all of you back here happy, healthy, much the wiser. Tony, Chicken, take it away.
As always, appreciate you. Love you. Cheers, folks.
Cheers indeed. Thanks for stopping in.
Here and see if it just smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive.
Nice.
El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah. A little bit smaller.
And
All
maybe
right.
make the KOE Nation logo just a little bigger. And maybe make 2 of them.
It's recording. All right.